Welcome. My name is Random Rents X, and today we're going to be discussing on what makes a great video game. Let's talk about the story argument. Now, some people may say that the reason why a game could be good is because of its story. Because if the gameplay is not good, if the controls are not good, if its visuals are not good, then maybe the story can be. And while I do believe adding a story to a game could be great, what I do believe is nonsense, however, is that a story is just the only thing that makes a game good. Because think about it this way. A game's story can convey emotion, and a game's story can also explain lore in said game's universe. Or, a game's story can also be lighthearted and fantastic as fuck. But if the only thing good about your game is just the story, then it's no longer a game. It's a movie. Now let's go over the visuals and graphics argument. The argument here is, who cares if the controls suck? Who cares if the story sucks? Or, who cares if a game decreases in content? But who cares? None of that doesn't matter. What matters is that the game looks great. And if it looks great, then it is great. This same argument can also be applied to movies as well. But to anybody who truly believes that a game or a specific game is only good just because of its graphics or visuals alone, please
die in hell.
And of course, this exact same argument can be used for people who think a game is bad because of said graphics. Of course, this argument isn't entirely bad. Then again, developers want their games to look as best as they can get in order to sell. So in some cases, graphics and visuals do matter, but in some cases, it doesn't. Sometimes graphics doesn't matter because I can go back to a game from 10 years ago, or let's say a game from 17 years ago, and still enjoy those games. So this argument is kind of true, but at the same time, it isn't. And last but not least, let's go over the passion argument. Now, the argument here is simply because of a game looking great and having a great concept and the developer having fun and having passion with his or her work, yada, 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 that means that the game is overall great. But just because the developers aren't dicks does not mean that said game overall is great. But don't get me wrong, I'll probably buy a game, or a sequel to said game, keep in mind, just because of this reason. And of course, if the developers are dicks, then basically this could be applied to just anything. If they are dicks, then I'm most likely not going to buy their product. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that comes in today's final conclusion. What makes a great game? Well, basically, it's all opinion based, honestly. It all comes down to personal preference, considering that my taste of what I think is good is all over the place. Realistically, I believe what makes a great game is all of the above. And what I mean by all of the above is, if a game offers great content, if a game offers great controls, if a game just overall is good in terms of presentation and execution, then I think it would be alright. Great, but alright. In my opinion, I believe content is the most important aspect to any game. Because of course, the whole purpose of a game is to keep playing and playing and playing. If you don't offer that much to do in your game, then I'm going to get bored. Because for starters, let's hypothetically say when it comes to a single player game, if the level design is great, if the presentation is great, if the execution is great, then, I'll most likely enjoy that said game. Super Mario 3D World and 3D Land come to mind. Also, what I meant was, with execution in terms of single-player games, I was referring to in terms of story, level design, if that game has comedic humor, or if the art style is great, stuff like that. And once again, that basically ends today's video. So, my final thoughts? Well, there are many layers and layers and layers as to what defines a great game. But like I mentioned before, it's all opinion based. Until next time, see you later, suckers.